And I want to ask you a question. There was one thing that Lieutenant Governor Tim Griffin recommended that I did not necessarily agree with. I thought he did a very good job. And I have no idea what your opinion is. But I'd like to know. The idea of moving all the investigators under CACD, I don't necessarily think that's a good idea, but I would like to ask you your opinion.
I think that there's a lot that would have to be considered, and I think it would be an extremely costly move for the state. When you look at the number of allegations, so 18% of the maltreatment referrals and investigations currently are diverted or assigned to CACD, and then the remaining percent, 82%, is assigned to DCFS. When you look at the caseload difference of a report that we did at the time, and if the numbers still hold, their caseloads are between 8 and 11 investigations per worker. Our investigative caseloads are 32. So you've got a pay difference. They're a grade higher, and their supervisors are 2 grades higher than those of DCFS. And when you look at the equipment, resources that they have, it's my understanding that all CACD investigators have a state car assigned to them. That's not the case in DCFS. And then I have the concern in the fact that we deal with so many neglect cases. And then the law enforcement that's involved in many of the CACD cases, I just am concerned that is that in the best interest of families to look at every case from a law enforcement perspective versus a strength-based approach. So there's some, in my opinion, I would not be for that as the child welfare director, but I know that that is not a decision that's going to be mine to make, but those are the arguments, and those are the arguments, or not the arguments, but those are the facts that I have presented as to my concern in regards to that recommendation by Lieutenant Griffin.
Okay. You mentioned my concern, and it has become one of my great concerns as we've investigated this, legislative oversight, especially where we have specific problems and the fact that folks in the agency can't testify. If it were possible to introduce legislation, and it was constitutional, of some type of executive session, like a school board does or a city board does, without the press, etc., where a small number of legislators could, and we could find out exactly what the story was with it, because we can now with it. It's just 1 or 2 of us. We can as a committee. Do you think that would be a good idea?
I do. I think because I think the more that, you know, I have been a proponent of the transparency law in Arkansas, and I know when I deal with my counterparts in other states, they're like, seriously. But just in the one-on-one conversations, if I had to take it in the shorts with y'all in those, that would not be good. So it allows y'all to learn, you know, the other side. It allows you to understand the impact of legislation or resource restraints. And I think that only makes you stronger as legislators. So in my opinion, I think the more that you can learn, I just think helps all the decision making be stronger.